What's going on, horror gang? Welcome to our Shop 6 Times YouTube horror movie channel. As you know, I'm your host, Marcus. Please be sure to shoot that like button, subscribe to the channel. So also hit that notification icon so you get all the latest content updates to the channel. Your support is greatly appreciated. In this video, I want to talk about Detective William Shank in Spiral and who his potential accomplice or accomplices could be. Could it be somebody from the past or could it be somebody from the present? Before we do that, let's hit that intro. I shot him 6 times. Alright, gang, so let's talk about it. So, Detective William Shank, or if you want to call him William Emerson, as we found out, at the end of Spiral is a new Spiral killer / Jigsaw killer. Was the antagonist of this movie, much to, the dismay, much to the like of some fans. Some fans liked this movie, some didn't. Me personally, I liked Spiral. I thought it was a really good spin-off to Saw. It was a nice way to get away from John Kramer and using Tobin Bell's voice and having to go back like they did at Jigsaw and say, oh, well, this is kind of like a prequel and this is like the first trap, etc., etc. I liked this movie, and I personally didn't have a problem with Max Magnolia being, the new Jigsaw killer or what have you, especially given the story. It made sense to me. I thought it was really enjoyable. That ending, to me, in my opinion, is the second best ending in the entire Saw universe, other than the original Saw movie. And in my opinion, that ending to Spiral was really, really good, and it really gave me original Saw vibes for sure. You know what I mean? Definitely did. In terms of, the story breaking out the way it did, like, it was really, really good in my opinion. Some might disagree with me, some might agree with me, but in terms of William Shank or Emerson, whatever you want to call him, after you watch this movie a few times, you cannot help but wonder who is his accomplice. Because let's really be honest here, guys. There is no way that this guy did all that work by himself. We almost know, especially in the Saw universe, especially what we learned from John Kramer, there's always an accomplice right around the corner or right in front of our eyes that we do not notice right away. Now, with that being said, I do think that if they wanted to, given the fact that we don't know where obviously Lawrence Gordon is, and we don't know if Mark Hoffman actually died, or Adam for that, if you want to throw that name in there as well, in the original Saw universe, could you bring former Saw characters back into Spiral universe? Yes, for the simple fact is, we don't know how Shank learned how to put the traps together. All we know is that from a trap perspective, Hoffman would know what he was doing, and maybe a little bit of Gordon. Maybe Gordon. Not really so much. He was more the surgeon, of the whole core of, Jigsaw accomplices. You never seen Lawrence Gordon put a trap together other than locking Detective Hoffman up in the old bathroom at the end, of Saw Chapter 7, or final chapter. So with that being said, I think it would be, almost cliche to bring an old school character back into this universe. My money is on Detective Tim O'Brien. Detective Tim O'Brien. The reason why I believe he would be the accomplice to, William Shank or whatever, is let's think about this for a second, guys. He is the only detective in the department who did not get targeted. He is the only detective in the department who did not face a trap. As well as he would have inside knowledge on Boz, lying under oath. All the shady shit that is going on, in the department, being that he's a cop, he would have all this information. So in my opinion, I think that if we're going to go with an accomplice for William Shank in the Spiral, it would have to be Detective Tim O'Brien. Once again, he wasn't targeted, he wasn't killed. He was always, around at the end of the traps. Every single time a trap was done, he was around in Zeke's face, communicating with him, etc. So it's not impossible to think that this character could possibly be involved, especially being, like I said, he was in the department, he had information, he knew everybody's dirty dealings from being on the force. It's not impossible to think that, he had an involvement in this, as well as we know him and Zeke really didn't get along that well. And who's to say, much like Hoffman kind of did in, Saw 5 and leading into Saw 6, what if he wants to be the last man standing in the department? What if he wants to be the new captain, or, the head of the department? Maybe that's his motive. I mean, because you got to think, what would his motive be is if he is an accomplice to William Shank? What would be the reason he would turn his back on all his fellow comrades? Well, obviously it's power. It would obviously have to be power, unless there's more underlying personal reasons that we obviously haven't gotten revealed yet. If we were to find out that Tim O'Brien is, an accomplice to William Shank, we would obviously have to get his story as to why he's doing this and, what's his purpose. But I'm not going to lie to you guys. When I was watching this movie, he really gave me Detective Mark Hoffman vibes, you guys. And I just feel like if they're going to go in a direction, hopefully they don't go steps backwards. I've talked about it here on the channel before in another video. They want to bring John Kramer back for a prequel. I am just not on board with that, you guys. I feel like Spiral did a decent enough job to warrant at least another sequel, maybe two, but at least one more sequel to tie up some of these loose ends in terms of who is Shank's accomplice, why is the accomplice, helping Shank, etc., etc. I think this movie was good enough, and obviously with Shank escaping, you left room for a sequel to be made. So in my opinion, as a fan of the Saw universe, I'd rather see a Spiral sequel as opposed to a prequel of John Kramer. I would really like us to see who is William Shank's accomplice and why are they helping him. Alright gang, that's my take on this matter of who is William Shank's accomplice. Hit the comment section and let me know what you guys think. Do you agree with me that you think Detective Tim O'Brien could be a potential accomplice to William Shank? Do you find it odd how he did not get targeted and die as, the only cop other than Zeke not to get targeted and die in this movie? Hit the comment section. I want to hear from you guys. Or do you guys think it could be somebody from the previous Saw installments that could be helping William Shank? Hit the comment section. I want to hear from you guys. Alright gang, once again, this is iShot6times YouTube horror movie channel. I'm your host Marcus. Please be sure to shoot that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Your support is greatly appreciated, and join this wonderful community and my horror family. As well as be sure to follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Thank you for watching.